singled him out for praise, but there's a reason Hull FC wanted to get rid of Jez Litton. And you saw it yesterday, him just flaking off tackles, just being brushed aside, sort of waving some hands in people's faces. That is not Super League quality tackling.
Yeah, there's pace and enthusiasm, but there's things that need improving there. Right, we talked about where it all went wrong for KR. What about where it all went right for Trinity? Because one thing they've done is they've had to bolster their squad because of injury issues and that sort of thing. But what they did is they brought in players who either needed to or wanted to prove themselves. In Morgan Escaray, who's had no game time at Wigan. In Chris Green, who's been told you're surplus to requirements at Hull FC, and then in Adam Tangata, who wants to show that he can play at Super League. That was a gamble that they had to take, and Chris Chester's pulled off a blinder, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think he has, and I think just look at the halves combination, Miller and Brough.
They've been up to loads of criticism this season, but there is class there, and it's those games where they connect and do.
And they're kind of a horses for courses.
You're going to see stuff created, aren't you?
Yeah, and it's kind of a horses for courses for the situation they're in and the just enough that they need to do. Actually, they're good enough. They're not spectacular, but they're good enough to get you out of this, and they're able to. And I think Miller did particularly well yesterday, and I think playing out on the wings suits Ryan Hampshire. He's able to and come in just enough, and I think he did okay. And I think that's okay. But again, they've got a pack. If you look at them, there's no spectacular players in there, but there's players who are willing to put a shift in and willing to work and willing to try and prove themselves, and ultimately willing to work as a team and want to play for that club.
I think that is the point. It's the teamwork angle, isn't it? In there, in that pack. I mean, Danny Kermond is such a club man. James Batchelor is a guy that's come through at Wakefield and feels a sense of commitment to that. And then it's those prove yourself players who want to muck in, who want to get down to the hard work. So absolutely a good win for Trinity. We'll get on to the standings, shall we, now?
Yep, let's do it. Let's get away from this game as far as we can.
Yep. Okay, so St Helens' unassailable lead extends to 16 points. They have 46, and the next best of Warrington, Wigan and Hull FC all have 30 points. Salford hold the last playoff spot on points difference, joined on 28 points by Castleford, as there is now a 5-team chase for second place. Catalans fall off the pace a little now on 26 points. Leeds in 8th and Wakefield in 9th both have 20 points. But that keeps them just 2 points ahead of the bottom three of Huddersfield, Hull KR and London, all on 18 points with 3 games to play. Look, it's become a bit customary now to get people's predictions on how things will round out. I don't think my position on anything has particularly changed, but I think you have different views to me. So, first of all, who's going to make that top 5? Who's going to miss out there?
Right, let me just look at it on paper in one view. 2 seconds. So, I can't. I don't know. I could see Cass making it possibly in the top 5, but I can't see it changing hugely.
It's been thrown into like huge wide openness, not just by Warrington's poor run of form, but also by Hull FC having one of those games that we thought they'd done with. We thought those games were out of the way. Those real poor home defensive performances with lots of points conceded. And I think their ability or lack of to defend is a worry, because their points difference is bad. It's an extra point below, really, in the league standing from Warrington, Wigan and Salford, who have got hugely better points differences.
I mean, they would need, for example, if you're looking at between them and Cass, for example, which is their next nearest on points difference in that bunch, they would need a swing of over, so what's that? A swing of the best part of 150 to get to that. So that's not going to happen at this stage. And that's I think if anyone's going to drop out, it would be Hull FC.
Oh, well, yeah, Warrington's points difference might just save them, might just cling on.
Yeah.
But it's exciting with all those teams playing each other. What about at the bottom? Who goes down for you? I know most of us have said we still think London might just fall short, but I'm sensing from what you said earlier, you've got a different view.
Yeah, I mean, now they are only 20 points, a 20-point swing from catching KR, which isn't much. And given the two sides play each other, it's all to play for in that regard.
Well, London, you could argue it's in their hands because they've got Leeds, who are 2 points ahead of them, but probably with points difference, realistically, are 3 points ahead of them. They've got Hull KR, who have got the woeful Catalans as well to play. Hull KR have, and then London play Wakefield, who are again arguably 3 points ahead of them when you take points difference into consideration.
By that point, could well be safe. So, and for off the gas, I've still got this narrative that Broncos are going to do it. They've just got that team togetherness, that spirit, that ability to pounce on things, and similar to the way they showed back in the £1 million game last year, that they've just got that zing about them to just get through things which you don't expect them to. No one gave them a hope for that, but they did it, and I just think they could do that again. And with both Giants and KR in such dire straits, it could be between either of them.
Yeah, with Huddersfield, you're not asking if they're going to score any points. If you're going to have to win any games, you're asking if they're going to score any tries at the moment.
Yeah, and big as Wolford's arms are, he can't carry them himself.
No. Right. So you're thinking Huddersfield?
It's going to come down to. I think it will probably come down to the last day of the season, with both of those being the two that could drop. I probably edge towards Huddersfield, but how much of that is hope and prayer, I don't know.
Fair enough. Okay, we'll keep discussing that as the weeks go on because it's very exciting, the league standing effect of this division this season. Stat line of the week. I'm going to go for a player who lost but put up some ridiculous numbers. Adam Cuthbertson with 47 tackles, 11 of which marker tackles, and 151 metres, did it both ways. And then add to that 10 successful offloads. That's one of the highest numbers we've seen in that stat this season. I think that's great going. Well done to Adam Cuthbertson for those numbers. He's improved
the last 6 weeks, couple of months. He has improved, hasn't he? He sort of picked himself up a bit.
Yeah, maybe spurred on by the performances of his women's side in the Challenge Cup, but also a player who seems to have benefited under Agar, who maybe isn't as structured in his approach, and disciplined in terms of what you can and can't do with the ball compared to what
Adam Cuthbertson is probably a player of 5 years. It is 5 years in the future of where he would have been at his best. Richard Agar as a coach, 5 years past where he would have been at his best in terms of where he would fit. So it probably fits between the two of them. They probably fit together quite nicely.
My player of the week is Bevan French, just for the excitement factor. This guy's going to get people off seats. Hopefully he's going to get people into stadiums for them to get off their seats. But yeah, he's potentially an excitement machine with the speed that he has. What about you?
I think Kevin Nagama. I think for his contribution, his play, where he chipped in, I think I'm looking forward to watching that on Saturday and see his contribution to that final. I think it's good. And in terms of just moment of the week, I think Ryan Morgan's arm flap probably does it for me. The sort of coming off his chicken wing.
Yeah, I'll go with Williams' try in the Wigan game, but I've waxed lyrical enough about that. So we'll move on to the predictions, Super and Fantasy League updates. In the predictions, me and Sarah both went 3 out of 6 last week. That sees me at 67% alongside Alan, although on 2 decimal place, Alan is ahead. Sarah's on 53% and you're on 54%, but you've got a chance to change that, although very minimally. Actually, it won't change because there's only one game, but we'll get to that later on. In the Super Alan, actually is doing well there too. He stays firm at the top. Nikki Nadin wears the yellow cap this week,
Ooh.
representing for the Hip Flask ladies. So shout out to Nikki. In the Fantasy League, Alan Bagley, of course, he stays top.
Really? You do surprise me.
The machine that he is, although it was Liam Reddington who had by far the best score this week, 822. That moves him up to third into the table. So Alan, watch your back. Liam's coming for you. Thanks to those who got the fan views in this week. Disappointed with the low numbers actually this week. I know a lot of people are on holiday, but please do make the effort to get your fan views in on the games, as it makes the show far more interesting and varied for us. And we're now going to move on to other results from the world of Rugby League.
Right, now it's time for the other results section, and we start off in the Championship, round 24, where it finished Toronto 46, Rochdale 0 in a lightning-filled game over there at Lamport Stadium.
A lightning-shortened game.
Yes, with a little break midway through the second half, and then they came off 10 minutes later. Didn't affect the result, and obviously doesn't have any effect on anything other than reducing Rochdale's embarrassment, I suppose. It finished Toulouse 46, Batley 0. Dewsbury 10, Bradford 34.
Yeah, liking their new home ground, aren't they, the Bulls?
Yeah,
the Dewsbury Bulls.
Well, they're getting into it. Yeah. Lee, maybe we should just merge, Batley, Dewsbury and Bradford together. Just play them as one team. Lee 34, Widnes 22. Swinton Lions carrying on their little uptick. 32, Halifax 12, York 22, Featherstone 18, which means good news for the York City Knights, and Sheffield 44,
York in that one.
Barrow 18.
In the standings, that means Toronto move on to 48 points. Toulouse and Lee stay second and third, but they're now on 36 points, with York behind on 35. Those four teams that we've just mentioned are confirmed in the playoffs now. Featherstone are still in charge of 5th spot on 32 points. Sheffield and Bradford are on 30 and 29, respectively. They both need to win both remaining games, though, to have a chance of the playoffs. And I haven't put the bottom half of the table in. I don't know why, but... where are we at? Everyone's safe apart from Dewsbury and Widnes, who both only need one win from the last two games to be safe. There you go.
And Rochdale has sunk.
Yeah. Barrow need a lot to go their way, but are still in with a chance of surviving. Yeah.
Good luck to Sheffield, I think, is all I'm going to say on the playoff saga. But then, good luck to Sheffield in general. It's a nice place. Anyway, League One, it was round 20 in that, and it was the Welsh Derby, where it finished West Wales 16, North Wales Crusaders 56, Keighley Cougars 19, Whitehaven 48. Getting that drop goal at the end of the first half, which is why it looks the way it does. Newcastle 88, Coventry Bears 6. Bears side again decimated by injuries, really piecing together two debuts again this year. I don't know what we're up to in terms of number of players used this season, but it's got to be pushing a record. The various things of injuries, loan recalls, Lewis Taylor going back to Sheffield this week just gone, and various other things. It's not conspired to go well for Coventry, and really limping home and just patching up people they can, including one player disappearing off for a month-long holiday, which has helped everybody. And it also finished Oldham 40, Doncaster 14.
Yeah, so Whitehaven stay top on 28, with only West Wales and Coventry play. Promotion is firmly in their own hands, you would suggest. Oldham have 26.
They've already booked the party bus, and over 100 people will be coming to Webb Ellis Road to cheer on the Haven.
Excellent. Oldham have 26 points and a better points difference, actually, so they'll have an eye on Haven slipping up. Newcastle have 25 points, Hunslet have 22, and a game in hand on those around them, which they play this Friday. Doncaster on 20 should feel, with points difference on their side, that they're in the playoffs. Workington on 19 need one more win to secure from their last two secure playoff place. North Wales have 16 and London have 15. They're the two teams who can catch, in theory, Workington. Coventry have 8, Keighley have 5, and West Wales have 2 points. Into the Women's Super League, Tim.
Yeah, it finished Leeds Rhinos 26, Castleford 36 at Emerald Headingley at 1 o'clock on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, Fat Boy
did
Rob
have a
got in
fan
touch.
view. Yeah.
He said, "Don't let the